myself, and that's a term used where you put up roadblocks to prevent people from being able to hypnotize you or to very quickly hypnotize you through certain techniques. And it took me 2 months to prepare to allow Sasha Lesson to be able to go through that barrier and actually conduct hypnosis on myself. So now, it's the first time you and I have discussed other sources of professional hypnotists and psychology involved, and we'll talk about it later, and we'll see if we can't set that up, because that's important I know that having been chosen to be a part of the space program and being involved even where Andy Bishago was involved, and having a lot of the things that were starting to come out in that 2-hour session, 2.5 hours, I'm very anxious to get in and find out more, because the more information I have, then the more information I can put available, and then I can have evidence and documentation to prove it. And the faster we can get the full disclosure to the public and to the world, the sooner life is going to be better for the poor people and those that are looking for a way to get out of the hole or cave that we put ourselves in. And I'm a lover of society and people, and I want to be able to help them. And the best way I can do it is to put myself in a position where I have to learn and be a part of making it available to the world instead of keeping it secret.
Well, we have an American Council of Hypnotherapist Examiners, and we have an International Board of Hypnotherapy and a certification process. So those of you listening, a certified medical support clinical hypnotherapist will be a CMS, and a fellow of the International Board of Hypnotherapy is FIBH. So they have specific training in medical support hypnotherapy. Some have to be called in by a doctor. So in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and that's the closest to you, I believe. So you can look for International Board of Hypnotherapy, and then as a dear medical professional, right? And we do have those that we'll list in our UFO Association and in our UFO Association. So, and just like we're going to have the FBI, the vault, FBI.gov. That sounds funny, doesn't it? The FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation. So the vault has a lot of records about UFOs. It's vault.fbi.gov/UFO. So in 1947, a rash of sightings of unexplained flying objects, UFOs, swept America. Although the newly formed U.S. Air Force was the primary investigator of these sightings, the FBI received many reports and worked for a time with the Air Force to investigate these matters. So there's a release now in the FBI's role in investigating such reports between 1947 and 1954, which we think of 47. We celebrate July 4th, 1947 as the anniversary, but some people saw and go by the Roswell reports and others around there, but Stanton Friedman, F-R-I-E-D-M-A-N, like Friedman, I think, but maybe it's D-I-D-M-A-N, is it? Yeah, so Stanton, he's been on our radio show, but Stan's written many books about Roswell, and so we'll plug Stan. He's called the Godfather of the UFO biz, and we're going to talk a little bit about alienology and the difference between alienology and ufology. So, Ken, did you get a list there of the words that I sent you? Alienology, cosmology, by chance?
I have to apologize. I did not open up my email once we started on the radio, but I can do that right now while you're talking. I apologize that I didn't do that in 1 second here.
Every day I'm amazed at how much information is available to me when at one time I couldn't get the word alienology. And now they have people search for alienology, the complete book of extraterrestrials. So they also search for people that have been on my show, Intelligent Intervention by Robert Stephen Thomas, Sasha Lesson, Anunnaki False Gods, Anunnaki Legacy of the Gods. So we're helping people because we literally on this radio station have built a new era in time with Ascension Age and quoting the word alienology and making it something. Since May 10th of 2010, we went 10-10-10, and now we didn't have it on Wikipedia, but it had fandom powered by Wikia, but now the word's showing up. So I hope people, if one thing they can say is Teresa helped us know things that we may not have known and got it into the internet, into Google, into Wikipedia. If I don't have anything else, it was learning how to communicate words so the common public could find more ways of learning about extraterrestrials and alien cultures, alien biology. We have Intergalactic Council of Hostile Aliens. And then we have the game. And, Ken, we need to let people understand people like those that are going off planet and why we had the wars and why the people with all the money, the top 1%ers, didn't want people to know about all of this stuff. And yet now there's the fear of the world coming to an end in our theology. That's always been the war of the worlds, in the war of the gods. And now we've got them on all these gaming systems. And we have Comic-Con. And you know what I mean? Stan Lee died here in 2018. We'll miss him. And he followed me on UFO Secret Space, UFO Digest in Canada. But unexplained phenomena, UFOs, and the level of existence that people do not know about is now available in the Internet. And alienology is part of that. The study of aliens versus UFOs, ufology, the study of UFOs, cosmology, the study of the cosmos, phenomenology, the study of phenomena, and I'd like you guys to start working with us in educating yourselves on these ologies because it's going to be controversial. Just like in the intelligence world, we've broken it down into the CIA, FBI, NSA, National Security Council, NSC, but the main thing you need to remember is it's NSA in the government. Before that we had, other companies, but mainly NSA used to be a secret national security agency, and we still use, because of national security, we'll go and say, oh, you can't say that because it'll hurt our national security. But now that we've gone global with the Internet, Ken, you and I talking with everybody, universal level, many multi-universes, it's sort of a moot point because all these space agencies are working together in space, are they not? The Russians and the Chinese, and you know what I'm saying? They're working.
The primary ones, Russia, the United States, Great Britain, China, Japan, have been working together on bases on the moon as well as on Mars, and they have their own portion of the Secret Space Agency. And just now, India's just recently launched satellites into orbit. They've also sent one to orbit Mars. So the largest population in the world is in India, and now they're coming on. So, the truth is out there, and it's of its own accord. It would be awfully hard to get it to stop. So, but I'm looking forward to keeping it moving at a faster pace because the quicker we can get Mother Earth banded up again, taking care of all of the chemicals and crap that we're dumping in it, no wonder. I'm not well, let's put it this way. I'm interested in doing what's right, and if it means, sticking my neck out, I guess I've done that. So we'll just keep moving, okay?
Well, Elon Musk, Sir Richard Branson with Virgin Airlines, and Tom DeLonge just started a new company in Delaware. He formed a Delaware corporation. And then he filed in California, which is ultra expensive. I don't know why, except that he lives there, because it's so expensive to run. But Elon Musk has spent millions to, maybe billions, but millions for sure. I think $100 million he lost in just one craft to get off the ground. He said, "How do you run a big company worth millions? You just start with how do you run a small company? you start with a large company. I thought that was funny the way you said it. It was sort of a joke. But, you know, Ken, and some of the YouTubes he's done, his depression, he looks depressed, folks, because he knows the truth. He tried to tell the world where we were going in the future, and he may be somewhat of a visionary. I would like to think he is, because he understands the gaming, the wizardry, the way that we're doing games and the internet, and our children playing them every day, including my grandchildren. They don't know a lot of the difference between wars and games and wars on the planet, and they're sure not going to be able to tell the difference in AI, artificial intelligence. And he's tried to tell people around the world this, and they said he said in a YouTube video, you can find Elon Musk, ELON is a funny name, but ELON and then MUSK, and what he's doing for the world. And he said they're not going to be able to tell the difference in what's real and what's not. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It was just a week or so ago that Elon Musk went to Washington, D.C. and was taken into, I believe it was the CIA, and he was given a private briefing. And that may well have been when his countenance dropped a little bit, because I'm sure it was information was provided to him, because he's definitely on his own preparing to launch to the moon. And so the truth is coming out. It is coming out, but it's our job to keep it moving, because otherwise we'll fall back into primitive. We have to.
Well, there's a lot of conspiracy theories out there. Then there's the reality that you can find proof of in 3D. And Richard Dolan, God bless him, he doesn't have all the information right, but neither does Corey Good, and neither does anybody that I know. So remember, people, all of us are talking about our firsthand experience or memories we're recalling. And if you listen to Corey Good, he doesn't claim to have been there in physical. He talks about a 20-year back program, meaning a memory that he's created. And this was out of the Montauk, Philadelphia experiment, Pegasus, which Andrew was in, some stuff I was in. We called it Stargate to the Cosmos. And we were putting all those together, Rainbow Project, the Philadelphia experiment with the nuclear war, and the government from World War II forward, because, I've been quoted saying, my husband used to say, because I'd ask him and I'd write about it, that they took it's like giving us matches. But Jim Mars started quoting me and my husband back in the day when he was reading what I was writing, and Jim Mars was a great investigator in Texas, or journalist, and got some books out. And then we've featured some people that he worked with in one of our authors clubs that meet at the authors event. So we've had gentlemen on here to promote their books, and Jim Mars, and now that he's gone. But Ken and I are doing our best to let you know in a nutshell, Ken, for the beginning, of what we're going to add to our Allied Command Organization. And we've got ACOclub.app, because I have to run it like a club, so we have more, I guess you could say, less red tape. How's that? Less red tape. That's just being honest, right? Because we're not the NCIA, we're not NSA, we're not FBI. We don't have a government backer. Ken and I got me and him. That's it. So, and I'm paying for the radio place, and I'm paying for to put it out there. But Ken is available to show up in human form, and he and I are both going to be event speakers. But until I can afford to get to these places and share my story, because it's new, there's pieces that are old. Ken's got pieces that are old, but he's writing his new. And we're going to try to put all these together. But Ken, you know, there's a lot of people speaking. Dr. Stephen Greer, Richard Dolan, yes. Linda Moulton Howell, David Wilcock, Emery Smith, Corey Good. Let's see, Joan Ocean has her place with the dolphins, swimming with the dolphins in Hawaii. God, there's so many speakers.
Oh yeah, and some great ones. I was going to just ask you though, if you had mentioned, I'm talking about David Wilcox, and he's put up quite a few video programs of interviews, and particularly